The Taylor household was the picture of ordinary family life, a cozy suburban home filled with warmth and laughter, playful days spent building forts indoors, bedtime stories whispered in the soft glow of a nightlight, and the sound of children's laughter echoing through sunlit rooms, creating a symphony of joy. Sam Taylor, a bright-eyed toddler with an infectious smile, spent his days building towering castles with colorful blocks, his imagination running wild with every creation. He loved chasing butterflies in the garden, their delicate wings fluttering in the sunlight, and launching toy airplanes with his father David, dreaming of soaring through the clouds. His parents, Sarah and David, cherished every milestone, watching with pride as their little boy grew and explored the world around him. First steps, wobbly and uncertain, first words, spoken with adorable mispronunciations, and the simple joys of raising a curious, happy child, filling their lives with immeasurable love and laughter. Sam's world was small, safe, and filled with love, a haven of comfort and security. No one suspected that beneath this normalcy, this seemingly perfect family life, something extraordinary was waiting to surface, a hidden truth that would soon disrupt their peaceful existence. Sam's bond with his father was especially strong, a connection built on shared adventures and unwavering affection. Their time together filled with laughter and imagination, creating memories that would last a lifetime. His days were a gentle routine, a comforting rhythm of familiar activities, cartoons on Saturday mornings, trips to the park to swing on the swings, and bedtime lullabies sung in soft, soothing voices. He was fascinated by the simplest things, finding wonder and joy in the everyday. Ladybugs crawling on leaves, the sweet taste of ripe strawberries, and his favorite blue blanket, a source of comfort and security. The family's life was peaceful, a tranquil oasis away from the chaos of the world. It was untouched by any hint of mystery, or so it seemed. But soon, the innocence of Sam's childhood would be interrupted, the calm before a storm of revelations, by memories that seemed to come from another lifetime, fragments of a past that defied explanation. The first sign came quietly, a whisper in the wind of their ordinary lives. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, like a ripple on a still pond, almost unnoticed. A fleeting moment, easily dismissed, yet it planted a seed of unease. One evening, as David changed Sam's diaper, a routine task in their loving home, Sam looked up, his eyes wide and innocent, and said, "When I was your age, I used to change your diapers." The words hung in the air, unexpected and strange. David laughed it off as toddler nonsense, a cute but meaningless phrase from his son's developing vocabulary, but the odd remarks continued, each one a little more perplexing than the last. They started to notice a pattern, a thread of something unusual woven into Sam's innocent chatter. Weeks later, Sam pointed at a photo of his late grandfather, a stern-looking man in a black and white frame, and said, with unwavering certainty, "That's me." The statement was so matter-of-fact, so devoid of childish whimsy that it gave Sarah a chill. When Sarah gently corrected him, explaining that it was his grandfather, Sam insisted, his small face set with determination, "No, that was me and I had a sister." His voice brooked no argument. The detail was unsettling, a piece of information that shouldn't have been accessible to him. Sam's grandfather did in fact have a sister, a detail shrouded in the past, a fact never discussed around Sam or really anyone. It was a forgotten branch on the family tree. The family tried to dismiss these moments as imagination, the fanciful creations of a child's mind, but the comments grew more frequent and specific, painting a picture that was increasingly difficult to ignore. Sam would cry at night, his small body racked with sobs, longing to go home, a place that was not their current house, not their town, but somewhere else entirely, a phantom residence in his mind, and spoke of a car crash, a twisted wreck of metal and glass, and other details foreign to his life, details that seemed to belong to another time, another person. Sarah and David's curiosity grew, morphing into a disquieting fascination, as the stories became harder to explain away, defying logic and reason. The memories Sam described felt heavy, laden with emotion, as if he was recalling real experiences, not just conjuring fantasies. The line between fantasy and something more profound began to blur, dissolving into a mist of uncertainty. The family's peaceful routine was now rippling with confusion, their comfortable reality shaken to its core, and wonder, a sense of awe mixed with a growing unease. What began as innocent remarks, the babblings of a toddler, soon became a mystery they could not ignore, a puzzle that demanded to be solved. Sam's words hinted at a life lived before his own, a past that was both familiar and terrifyingly unknown. Sam's statements at first glance seemed like the innocent ramblings of a child, yet they were deeply unsettling, carrying a weight and specificity that belied his young age. They hinted at experiences far beyond his years. "I used to be big, but now I'm small," he'd say, a statement that left his parents bewildered and searching for meaning. It was a recurring theme, this sense of a past life, a former existence. He grew frustrated when his parents didn't understand, as if the memories were crystal clear to him but impossible to convey. He couldn't grasp why they couldn't see what he saw, remember what he remembered. He spoke of a sister, a bond that seemed incredibly important to him, and demonstrated a secret handshake, a ritual that felt both familiar and foreign to his parents. Even more strangely, he started matching details of his grandfather's life, things he couldn't possibly have known through normal means. It was as if he was reliving someone else's history. Sam described missing his sister with a palpable sadness, who, according to him, was an artist. Just like his grandfather's sister, a detail that had been long forgotten within the family. This detail was too specific, too obscure to be a coincidence. He talked about a head injury and being put in a box, using phrases that evoked a sense of trauma and finality, expressing real sadness and fear that seemed far too profound for a child his age. The intensity of his emotions was unsettling. The Taylors worried about the emotional toll these memories, whether real or imagined, took on Sam, and the potential impact on his developing psyche. The specificity of his claims, details no one had told him, facts that seemed impossible for him to know, made them hard to dismiss, forcing them to confront the possibility that something truly extraordinary was happening. The most striking moment came when Sam, looking at his grandfather's photo, his eyes filled with a strange mixture of recognition and longing, said, "I wish I could have seen you grow up. I picked you to be my daddy." For David, this was a turning point, a moment that resonated with him on a deeply personal level. The words felt like a message from his own father, a connection that transcended the boundaries of life and death, transcending generations, binding them together in a way he couldn't explain. The family could no longer brush aside Sam's memories, dismissing them as the product of an overactive imagination. They were more than mere childhood fantasy, they were a puzzle, a mystery that demanded to be solved. The mystery deepened, challenging everything they thought they knew about life, death, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Imagination and reality had become almost indistinguishable, blurring the lines between what was possible and what was simply beyond comprehension. Driven by Sam's persistent memories, Sarah and David turned to David's mother for answers. At first skeptical, she listened as they shared Sam's specific statements. Her disbelief faded as she confirmed the details: Robert's close bond with his sister, her love of art, and the unique handshake in an old photo. She revealed Robert's sudden death from a cerebral hemorrhage linked to a fall, matching Sam's talk of a head injury. Sam recognized Robert's cherished green convertible and called their cat by the same name as Robert's first pet. Each revelation fit perfectly with Sam's memories. The family pieced together a story that was impossible to explain away. The evidence mounted, and the mystery only grew. Sam's memories seemed to unlock a hidden chapter of their family's past. The Taylors compared Sam's statements to the facts of Robert's life, and the parallels were astonishing. Sam's mention of a sister who made art matched Robert's sister exactly. His talk of a head injury and pain aligned with the true cause of Robert's death. Sam described a shiny green car, Robert's prized convertible, and even pointed out a dent only the family knew about. He called their cat by the same unusual name as Robert's first pet. The emotional weight behind Sam's words made them feel like genuine memories, not guesses. Each verified detail added credibility to Sam's story. The evidence was too specific to dismiss as coincidence. The family was left with one question: how could Sam know so much about a life he never lived? The mystery was undeniable, and the answers remained elusive. For Sarah and David, the journey was emotional and transformative. At first, they worried for Sam's well-being, unsure how to help him. As the evidence grew, their fear gave way to curiosity and acceptance. They began documenting Sam's memories, treating them with respect. The turning point came when Sam expressed love that seemed to echo from beyond. "I wish I could have seen you grow up." The family shifted from investigation to acceptance, seeing Sam's memories as a mysterious gift. The experience brought comfort, suggesting that love endures beyond death. As Sam grew, the memories faded, but the family was forever changed. They learned to embrace the unknown, finding peace in the mystery. The story deepened their bonds and opened their minds to life's greatest questions. For child psychologists, cases like Sam's are both fascinating and challenging. The first step is to rule out conventional explanations. Could the child have overheard details or been influenced by suggestion? Psychologists assess the child's mental state, looking for signs of distress or fantasy proneness. In compelling cases, children like Sam are well-adjusted, and their memories are consistent and detailed. The emotional authenticity of their stories sets them apart from typical childhood imagination. Psychologists analyze whether the narrative is stable over time, as in Sam's case. When no ordinary explanation fits, the focus shifts to supporting the child and family. The goal is to ensure the child feels safe and understood, regardless of the explanation. Ultimately, the child's well-being is the top priority. Researchers studying reincarnation see cases like Sam's as valuable data. At institutions like the University of Virginia, thousands of similar cases have been documented. The process is rigorous. Children's statements are recorded before any verification. Strong cases involve multiple specific details later confirmed as true. Emotional and behavioral clues and sometimes even birthmarks add to the evidence. The goal isn't to convince skeptics, but to present the data objectively. These cases challenge the idea that consciousness ends with death. They invite us to consider that consciousness may be more fundamental than we realize. The mystery remains, but the evidence is compelling. Stories like Sam's offer profound lessons for families and science alike. They remind us to listen to children with open hearts and to respond with love rather than fear. For science, these cases challenge our understanding and invite deeper inquiry. They encourage us to question the nature of memory and consciousness. Such stories transcend cultural boundaries, suggesting a universal human experience. Whether seen as evidence of reincarnation or as an unsolved mystery, their impact is real. They soften our certainties and invite wonder. The bonds of love may be more enduring than we imagine. Sam's story is not an answer, but an invitation to explore the extraordinary journey of being human.